Hello, adventurers. My name is Maximus, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the 16th episode of Campaign 2 of Caches and Cantrips, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons and Dragons live on Friday nights. I'm joined by our stupendous cast: Bunny Dreadful, Mac and Cheese Please, Nina Nikolic, Virtual Spectre, and Moves Like Jagger from the GGN crew. All right, good job, everyone. Have a good night. No, I was like, I did it.
Bye.
Yay.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Perfect. A couple things to talk about. First thing is officially YouTube partnered. Yay! Links in the chat there for you to go over there. Now our memberships are live, which gives you some emotes as well as some little special things with the different tiers. So definitely go check them out. And since the question was asked in our Discord, which that will also be in the chat now, because I'm smart. YouTube gives us 70% of the payout. Twitch gives us 50. So choose how you want to support us.
Join YouTube, please.
Just saying. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. And Patreon gives us like 90%. So whichever one do you want to choose? Yeah, I think Patreon, it's like 8%, and then any like transaction fees are taken off of that too. So lots of ways to support us on many different platforms, but it's also supporting us just by watching, liking our videos, checking them out, all that stuff, tweeting about us. That helps us too. So thank you very much. Next thing, our podcast now. We're over 3,700 plays. We hit over 3,750 now. So the bar keeps moving up. So thank you very much for listening to our podcasts if you can't make the live streams. And if you're wondering, well, when are your live streams? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Because on Monday nights, we have Tome Knowledge at 6 p.m. Pacific. On Tuesday nights, we have Art Streams with Bun at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then, did you wave when I said that? Okay, I just saw the corner of my eye. Like,
oh no, you say my name and I just wave. I just
Yeah.
hear Bun and I go, hi, it's me.
Like,
And then
hi, it's me, I'm Bun.
Yeah, it's me.
And then on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific, where you are right now, if you're with us in the present, is our live stream for our campaign. And then, of course, Thursdays is only YouTube or our podcast, our Out of Combat, which is our little after episode where some of the players get together and talk about some of the previous things that happened and get some behind the scenes insight. So check that out. And last thing is I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Give me the bad news first.
The bad news.
Are we dead?
No, the bad news is we're not going to be here next Friday. Sorry.
Oh.
There's no episode next Friday on the 22nd. I apologize. The good news is that
hit me.
we are going to be playing D&D on Sunday. Sunday, what? Why? That's because we're going to be part of the charity stream called Quest Accepted. We were asked by the National MS Society to kind of help them out and do a stream on their channel and raise some money for charity. And it's very special to me because my aunt was diagnosed with MS at a very young age. And she was in remission for a while and lived a nice and full life. So it's nice to kind of give back to the charity that is working towards research and awareness for that kind of stuff. So if you're wondering, it's twitch.tv/MS Society. So we'll be over there next Sunday at noon Pacific, running a fun little one-shot. And we have some pretty crazy donation incentives that we're going to have on there. Especially since it's a one-shot, we can just go all out and go crazy. So,
And their event's running all weekend, right?
Their event is running all weekend from Friday through Sunday.
So I think some of us will probably be over there watching them on Friday too. So if you're like, what am I going to do with my Friday though? We'll all be, whoever's free is we're going to go try and give them some support and watch some other D&D streamers because y'all, it's not just us. There's dozens of us. Literally dozens.
Yeah. And on Friday, I do believe that the live stream that's happening then is with be David Walters. So that'll be pretty awesome. And I think that they were doing like an auction where someone could win a seat at that table too. So go check out their Twitter for more info on that. That is at stream to end MS. So fun times. I'm excited. I'll be running a little one shot, and then we've got Bun, VS, Mac, as well as Drew or G's and Fro is going to be joining as well. Always a fun time with Drew.
Drew is a fun time.
Be my first time.
Dreamy Drew.
Interacting with Drew on a stream.
Yes.
I'm looking
nice.
forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
I don't know why. I just imagine his character's going to have like a giant mustache again.
Honestly, goals.
Yeah, that's probably
If
what's
Taj
going to
just
happen.
grows a mustache.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
everyone
not
does.
wild magic sorcerer again. Darn it. No.
Well, I mean,
No.
Taj, you can just change your appearance, and your new appearance is just Taj with the mustache.
Right. There we go. Let's start her up. That's what I'm doing.
Perfect. Just from now on. All right, Bun, I'm gonna have to make some alterations to your new character art. So
I just heard everyone's getting goatees and mustaches, so I've already
Perfect.
started.
it's the evil version of the cast. Anyway, anyone have anything else they want to bring up before we get ready for our episode tonight?
No.
I had high hopes. I was ready for.
I have a PSA
Sure.
for all you, those of you in chat that have a pet. Go over and give your pet a little scratch and a little love right now, because it'll boost your serotonin and you'll have a good night. The end.
And a little kiss on their snoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go boop some schnoots and then come right back.
Did you say schnoots?
Yeah, snoot.
Sure.
It sounded like you said schnooch. Anyway, without any further ado and nonsense and shenanigans, let's go ahead and get ready for tonight's episode of Casters and Cantrips. Our story last left off with the unfortunate finally making it back to Blackrend Cove after their journey to the Whispering Isle. They took the time to investigate this mysterious orb in their possession, where they learned that it was known as the Cryptex Arcanum, and it contained untold arcane power. This magical item was made from the alloy Electrum, which was believed in years past to have inherent magical properties. Taj was able to reveal the first enigma of the Cryptex Arcanum, which was an image of a latched lock closed. The group then agreed that it would be best to use Taj's newfound spell Arcane Lock to keep this object safely in the captain's quarters. Once the unfortunate weighed anchor at the ports, the party went to offload some of their ill-gotten gains. While selling off their goods, Azric observed an old friend working behind the counter. It was his old friend named Volrin Tritus, who had served with Azric and Taj on the Withered Rose. They agreed to catch up with him at the Drunken Mermaid later that evening. And once they did rendezvous there, they reminisced about old times on their old ship, and Volrin then filled in Azric and Taj on what happened exactly during the mutiny. He described that the ship had caught fire, that crew went overboard, and it was just absolute mayhem. He also told them that Thandria, the bosun, was slain by their former captain during the melee, and One-Eyed Jorvis had been captured sometime during the battle, and he began blaming Azric and Taj for the whole thing. Ultimately, the crew that remained was split on what truly happened, but with the captain breaking the tie, Jorvis was the one that took the fall for the mutiny. And afterwards, the crew and ship didn't last much longer. It was said that Captain Marius had become obsessed with finding this last prize that was just out of his reach. Meanwhile, Hayden did a bit of exploring on his own at the cove, where he stumbled upon the general store known as Rover's Rummage, where he met the gnome shop owner, Rover. After purchasing some basic supplies, Hayden employed Rover to gain some information about a family known as the Highwinds. Rover told Hayden to come back later the next day for that information. And later that evening, Emmy had arranged for the officers of the Unfortunate to have a sit-down dinner to have a frank discussion about the party. They discussed the previous adventure at the Whispering Isle as well as the future of the crew. And after some of the crew shared pieces of their past, the dinner ultimately came to a close. And that is where we'll begin our adventure this evening. It is now the next day. Everyone has gotten a full rest. They have gotten some sleep. And it is now Quintus the 4th, for those of you that are paying attention to the calendar. And it is a new day at Black Wren Cove.
Well, morning all. Everyone sleep well enough?
Oh, I think so. What day is it?
Haven't the faintest.
Oh. It is Woods Day on Quintus the 4th.
Oh, I believe I had a little too much rum before going to sleep.
No such thing, Azric. No such thing.
That's why I love you, Cuter.
Does all alcohol taste like rum? I'm just curious if it's all that good.
Oh, there's wine, there's ale, there's whiskey. They all burns going down, except maybe wine's more sweeter.
Oh, wine doesn't burn?
No.
Neither does ale.
Interesting. I
um,
should try it. Just there's science.
It's
you know.
basically made from grapes.
Oh, I don't think I've had grapes.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure you'll find plenty of wine around these parts. So, still going to take some time for the ship to be fully refit, yeah?
oh yeah. 3 days, I believe.
Why don't we try to find a magic shop? Maybe someone that can sell us a School of Knock?
Oh yes,
Oh,
let's
yes,
do that.
please.
And I just like jump up, like off my bunk or wherever I am, like, and just kind of like jovially, like leave the ship. Like, you're following me or you're not following me, but this is where I'm going.
Yeah, and you sort of... Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you sort of go to the edge of the ship, and they sort of make ready one of the skiffs so you all can go back to the cove after spending the night on the Unfortunate, and you make your way back to Black Wren Cove. You're sort of home away from home at the moment. And once you arrive, you know of someone who could potentially help you. Taj. And this particular shop that she runs is known as Accoutrements Arcane. And this little shop, it's calling it a shop is a bit of a misnomer. You've had some dealings with this person, but they don't typically sell things outright. They exchange information, they'll take commissions, that kind of stuff. But you can make your way over there. It may take a bit. It's a little further inland on the cove, sort of out of the way of the main thoroughfares. What is that? Go ahead.
Quick question for the DM.
Sure.
For a little
I'll go
bit
find him.
of scene setting. What does Black Wren Cove smell like?
Interesting. So it depends on where you are.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so you've got the sort of closer to the coast, that sort of fresh smell of sea water, sort of almost acrid salt offending your nostrils. It's not necessarily a dirty place. This is where the people known as the patronage, of what the pirates call themselves, have made their sort of own little pirate nation. I think dingy would be the right word to describe it, where you don't have the nicest things here. Typically what they get is what they bring onto the island, and most of the time what they get is what they steal for the most part, other than the very limited natural resources on this island. But it doesn't smell like a trash heap or anything. Just dingy, salty.
Maybe occasionally wood fire and
Wood fire, boozy if you're near the Drunken Mermaid.
I'm gonna start asking that when we get to new locations. What does it smell like to you?
Absolutely. I mean, that is a good thing to know.
Stings the nostril.
Mhm. It does. All right. So is the destination to Accoutrements Arcane? First stop?
Yeah.
Alrighty. You all can make it there in maybe an hour or so. Any discussions on the way there, or is it just hop to it straight over?
I'm like skipping the whole way there because in my mind, like the shopkeep is like my best friend that I haven't seen in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like excited to see her again and like catch up on the gossip of the island.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to keep up.
Well,
Shuffling
while we're
along.
on the way to the shop, well, we have 3 days in port, so we should actually really celebrate. You know.
That's not a bad idea.
Celebrate, you say?
Now that we are a crew, it is important that we have camaraderie and celebrate our wins. We just
Very
got back
much
from
so.
a good haul.
Well, how do you celebrate? I mean, if you're like a pirate.
Drink
With rum,
rum.
my dear child.
Do we have to?
Yes,
whatever.
We're going to get shit faced. Yes.
Whatever
Um,
suits your fancy, I guess.
Oh, I
Wine.
could try the
Wine's
wine.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll try that. That sounds nice.
Can we celebrate on the ship this evening then, huh?
Not why. Well, I don't understand why we need to isolate ourselves.
Or
We
not.
should,
I
There's a
think
go out
local
on the
inn.
town.
the Drunken Mermaid would be just fine.
They weren't very nice to me though, but last time
Just,
they tried to trip me.
We typically
Oh,
do
well,
stuff
they're-
on the ship, so
They're
first
dead
thing
now,
that came to
maybe.
mind. Sorry.
They're just testing you, dear. I'm sure it'll be fine.
True, and I guess the guy that technically tripped me is dead now, or insane, probably murdered.
These are the things that happen every night. Another day, another time. It does not matter.
Oh, okay,
It'll be fine. Don't worry.
okay.
People do not hold grudges here on the island. Unless you really mess up, but a simple mishap in a bar. Mm-mm.
Once they get off the island, that's a different story. Let's not think about that. Let's go to the shop.
Alrighty. So as you make your way sort of deeper into this island, off of sort of the coast and the harbor, away from like the sort of hastily built buildings there, and you kind of go deeper in amongst some of the thicker vegetation on the island, and you come across just sort of almost on its own trees surrounding it on 3 sides, a sort of small shack built out of like dark wood. It's got like a thatched roof, and this is the place, Taj, that you remember that when you've met Zara. So you all go inside the Accoutrements Arcane, and this space immediately is different than the outside. You immediately hear sort of soft chimes playing in the background, sort of echoing off of the walls. You come in this sort of aroma of like parchment leathers, like exotic like flowers, foliage sort of just fill the air inside the shop, and it's just adorned with sort of deep like purples and hanging crystals from the ceiling that are sort of reflecting prismatic colors onto the walls from the small sort of parts in the roof that are opened to let light come through as it's sort of twinkling off of these crystals. There's many shelves made of dark oak etched with different runes. Some of them sort of gently glow with arcane power. And then there are sort of plants hanging, sort of exotic, more like jungle than like coastal plants. And an entire wall is essentially basically a living wall of just plants completely covering it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say this is like the most relaxed like you've ever seen Taj. Like she is just like at home, excited to see her best friend.
This is incredible. Gorgeous. Kuda's just like poring over everything, wants to touch everything. It's just like completely engrossed in all these things she's like never seen before.
Same. Emmy's just like looking at everything. She does accidentally kind of like knock a stack of like things over, but probably like Cooter or somebody like kind of like catches it at the last second.
Ooh.
And with that sound of sort of Emmy bumping into maybe a stack of books and kind of keeping them from falling, you see someone kind of poke their head out from a back room area that's sort of obfuscated with like a sheen like curtain, and she comes out, and you see this woman who has bright golden, almost iridescent eyes, and you notice that she sort of has olive hue skin, but sort of on her skin in various different patterns there are scales that are sort of glimmering like emeralds. And she's wearing these sort of elegant flowing robes with intricate runes that are basically sewn directly into them. And she has a sort of long, sort of flowing black hair, and she's wearing not quite a headband, but almost like a chain tied around with like a large jewel in the center of it. Lots of very sort of elaborate golden jewelry as well.
Is she dressed similarly to Taj in a lot of ways? Like, would we be getting that vibe, or is it like
Not
slightly different?
necessarily. Not necessarily. But Zara is a Yuan Ti as well.
Oh,
What is that word?
Yuan Ti. The Yuan Ti
Okay.
were originally humanoid that sort of at some point tried to transform themselves into serpents, and they basically have serpent-like qualities of differing degrees, and where hers are definitely the eyes as well as the sort of patches of scales on her
So
skin.
it's not, they're not snake, they're not like half human, half snake tail. It's like humanoid, and she just has scaled skin. And
Mhm.
okay,
And she looks over and sort of making sure everything's all right in the shop, and then he sees Taj, and her sort of face kind of softens, and she sort of glides over to Taj and clasps her hands. What are you doing here? It's so good to see you.
Zah and I like hold hands out and like kiss cheek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I was worried I'd never see you again. You are been gone for so long.
It has been many years. But I am back with well, we need your help. And I pull out the orb and like put it on the table.
Wow. Isn't this Interesting. What have you brought me?
I do not know. We had got it from a temple that should not have even been there in the first place. And it is filled with things that also should not exist, but they do. And I do not know how to explain other than we grabbed this and it teleported us out. And it seems to contain something, but it is, how you say, blocked.
May I? And she sort of reaches her hand out.
I do not know what it will contain, so be careful.
And she sort of begins to study it. And both Taj and Cooter, you recognize that she is casting Identify on this object, much like you did, Cooter. And she sort of waits for a moment, and she's just sort of holding her hand just gently on this, and her eyes are closed, and it looks like someone when they're getting like REM sleep, like they look calm, other than her eyes are rapidly moving with her eyes closed. And she opens her eyes. I have not heard of this before, but I am more than willing to help with whatever you need. Cryptex Arcanum. Very interesting. What have you
Like
learned
I
so
said,
far?
it should not exist, but it does.
What makes you think this should not exist?
I do not know. I have never heard of it. If you can
Well.
only understand the place that we got it from, Emmy, you might be of assistance here.
Oh yes, gosh, do I speak freely? This is your trusted friend.
I trust her with my life.
Okay. Sorry, I'm learning to be better about social cues. Taj is teaching me. So we were at these ruins, and they were all about the arcane. But the thing that's very interesting about them is that they seemed to be worshiping the arcane as if there were a patron of the arcane, like a god, but there aren't any of those, so it was quite strange. And the inside there were supposed to be libraries and stored knowledge, all dedicated to the arcane, and it's been around for a very, very, very long time. And there were creatures in there that are those that seek power and through arcane magic.
Where is this place? Where did you go?
I mean, like, kind of like pauses, like waiting for approval to give the location.
We found it in an ancient wizard tower.
We
There
met
are-
someone, he
Not
told us
right
about
down
it.
this.
He had been driven mad with seeking the power and the knowledge.
Ancient wizard tower is almost an anachronism. Something that's, well, there aren't very many of those left, as far as I know.
This was it was like maybe an office or a study, I believe, because there was a desk with other items, I think, and but we didn't see anyone. Was there someone in there? We thought, well, it happened very fast, but we grabbed it, and when we grabbed it, it transported us back out to the entrance of the entire tower. It saved our lives pretty much, but it also is, we're not sure if it would take us back there on accident. That would.
There are some interesting parts of your story.
Oh,
One-
it's very interesting.
What do you mean they were worshipping the arcane? There are no
Well,
arcane deities.
yeah, so I have a very good understanding of ruins, and especially ruins that are meant to worship one of the
Pantheon.
pantheon. Sorry, We drank rum last night. I don't know.
I believe what Emmy means to say is there are no inhabitants of this rune anymore, but there are statues that would indicate that they used to worship the arcane
Oh, and there's
deity.
the whispers. Should I mention the whispers?
There is arcane magic that is protecting the whole area, but when we use my arcane, it does not work. But we are hearing whispers when we are near, and there was a Nothic creature. Not just one, but there were other flying creatures which we have defeated. And when I tell you that nobody should have been in this place, it was like it had been dusted and abandoned for years. But there were creatures inside.
You're telling me that you went to the Whispering Isle and you are not dead?
Oh, that's what. Yeah. Yes.
So you heard the whispers in your
Affirmative.
mind
Well,
Oh,
almost all
yes.
of us did. Yeah.
and you didn't tear each other apart?
They were mostly
No.
just trying to warn us. I think they were fairly nice.
The whispers were saying something about ancient secrets in the past. They are still around.
This is very peculiar, concerning, intriguing. You won't decide which. It's obvious that this sphere is quite powerful. And you said you needed my help. And what can I do to help?
It is, there is a puzzle. We got the first bit unlocked, but the second bit might require knock or some other magic that I do not have at the moment. I was
Right.
wondering if you have knock that you would sell me, or if I may look at your spell book and write it down.
As a wizard, just a sort of some background for you, Taj. Wizards are almost protective of their spell books more than anything else. It's their sort of private, personal, like, source of their power. And the reason that it is so private is if someone were to get a hold of your spell book, that's your life's work gone if they happen to just not give it back or abscond with it, right? So the idea of someone letting them like copy out of their spell book, you'd have to have a very, very close bond with someone, one that would probably transcend even just friendship. So she sort of looks at you, almost surprised. You must really be desperate then.
I mean, if you only saw what we saw, it was quite peculiar, and this might be a key to unlocking the past. We do not know what is inside or what it holds.
Well, this item is, of course, very dangerous. Maybe you could just leave it here and I could take care of it for you. Maybe I
I
could
do not
unlock the
think.
secrets.
I think I would like to hold on to it and maybe do it together, or we can unlock it, or if you know the means to unlock it.
She sort of slyly smiles at you. It was worth a try at least.
I mean, I would have done the same thing.
You want access to the scroll of knock? No, you and I are friends. But you also know I don't give away things for free. And I work on a sort of bespoke commission basis. So, if you want a scroll of knock for you, to copy, I'd be more than willing to help you out if you acquire the ingredients for me to make it.
What are the ingredients?
I see that you are behind in your studies. You'll never catch up to me at this rate. She sort of boops you on the nose.
I like.
Well, for Scroll of Knock, I will need 3 of these. So whichever 3 you bring me, I should be able to make this for you, no problem. Although if you bring all 4, then just a better chance, but this one's not too difficult. First off, ironwood. Splinters. Should be fine. Silver tongue blossom. Echoing crystal. Basilisk scale. For those
Do
of
you
you
have
that
that written down somewhere, maybe? My handwriting's not what it used to be.
of course. So, for those of you who would like to make either, I think for these it would be a nature check.
Is the third one?
I will.
Echoing crystal.
Oh, you're 21.
21.
Ooh, I
Wait.
want to roll as well.
Less than 21.
Nature.
21 for
19.
Azric too. 19.
Oh no, I got 16. I got
Oh,
less
16.
than 21.
Oh, okay. I heard 21. 16, 19, 21.
7. I guess none of
7.
them are underwater things.
So, I think most of you would know this as sort of common knowledge, like ironwood, from an ironwood tree, maybe like an acacia or something like that. Very resilient, strong trees, and one particular island or city-state is sort of known to have these, and that would be sort of Ontes. In like their plains, some of these trees would sort of grow tall on their own. So that would definitely be a place to find ironwood. It's one of the natural resources of Ontes. Silver tongue blossom. Those of you that rolled well would know this. Azric, you would know this for free. Silver tongue blossom. It's a rare flower that blooms only under the light of the full moon. And they are located in Escos. And if you're wondering when the full moon is, you all have a calendar, so you can look it up.
What was today's date again? I was just wondering that because I literally
What's
had it
day?
open.
Woods Day, Quintus the 4th.
Okay.
Oh, we missed it.
The full moon in this world, the 18th every month. 28 days in each month. The 18th is the full moon. And echoing crystals. Azric wouldn't know this one, but the 19 and the 21 would. These are sort of kind of a special type of crystal, and they're usually in extremely deep caves, but specifically caves that are either near like the tide line or the coast, occasionally underwater if there's sort of a pocket of air. And it's believed that sort of the shape of the cave and the tide and the waves moving in and out create sort of a resonance, like an acoustic resonance in this cave. And these crystals sort of, it's weird, they sort of absorb this sound and they sort of hum on their own. Like if they're removed from this cave, they sort of have like this humming noise, almost like a tuning fork. Like if you hit a tuning fork, but it's constant. And then the last being a basilisk scale, which basilisks are, I wouldn't say common knowledge, but if you're an adventurer, you know that's one of those things to be aware of, as they are capable of petrifying people just with their gaze.
For the cave types, was there like a location or just like any idle cave?
It's sort of a specific like occurrence of like all the right things have to line up, but not like a location like, oh, here's one.
I see.
'Cause
Okay.
these crystals, they are valuable. So
Can I
And then,
roll an
I guess-
insight on these ingredients? They seem way more rare that you would need for a scroll of knock.
sure.
I have a it's a -1. 17.
17. You don't get any sense that she's trying to deceive or mislead. And in fact, you know, 2 of these ingredients are just go get this from this plant, essentially. So needing 3 of them, it's not out of the question. You yourself don't have the sort of arcane knowledge to make magical like items or scrolls kind of at this point in your journey, so I mean, it's plausible. You know that weird shit has to go into making scrolls of spells, so
Can you repeat the place where the rare flower was? I wrote Escos, but was that it?
Yeah.
Just Escos. Okay.
is in Escos. That's
And
where
then
they
is
typically-
there like an island where basilisks live?
Basilisks are typically cave dwellers for the most part, other than they might come out to feed, stuff like that.
A tidal cave dweller?
Could be, but they sort of thrive in like arid, like temperate or like tropical climates. So but
Sounds like a tidal cave to me.
they make their lair, yeah, in caves or other shelters. So
Or like giant bad news iguanas.
basically, that's a really good way to put it. They're oops iguanas.
It sounds like we're on a journey to the other side of the ocean here.
Now, did you come all this way just to ask me to make you a scroll of knock?
No, there is more. I look at like the group for like confirmation about should I show her the book, like, but specifically like giving Azric and I like, yes, it's the time, or no, it's not the time.
I shake my head no.
When I come back with the ingredients, maybe we can chat some more about something that is quite important.
Let's see. You rolled a pretty high insight on you, Taj. And she caught your sort of side eye to the group. Come on, out with it. You are keeping something from me. You come all this way for my help and you ask for a knock?
No, you are right. And I kind of like give a shrug to Azric and take out the book from my bag.
What
Is,
is this little treasure?
This is a ledger from a captain's ship. It might contain notes of treasure or other things, and it is well, open it. It is gibberish. It needs to be deciphered.
You mean to tell me that you have the rudder of Captain Marius Blackthorn.
Former
Admittedly.
captain.
Pardon me. He does not have a ship, so you are right. Very interesting how you may have come across this. I will not pry it. You can tell me if you'd like, but let's take a look. And she sort of opens it and kind of like intrigued, and then immediately sees like the gibberish, like nonsense. I see. Or I should say I don't, because I can't read it. This is what you really want help with, isn't it?
You know how to do it?
No. Well. Damn, she's on a roll. So what I am guessing is you were of course warned, or hopefully you knew better, than to try and dispel this as it's still intact.
I may be new in my apprenticeship of wizardry, but I am not stupid.
I did not say this, only implying that sometimes you are reckless or hasty.
It was an accident.
Of course it was. Well, it is apparent, I'm assuming that you'd figured this out, is that you need some sort of true sight to decipher whatever this is. And it is sort of permanently inscribed with an illusory script. Now, there are creatures that possess the abilities of true sight, but would not trust any of them to help you in this regard. They would more than likely, I don't know, rather eat you, keep you as their pet, or worse. So, with that being almost out of the question, I am assuming you also want me to make yet another scroll for you.
If it is possible, or maybe you already have one in the shop that I could buy.
No, I only do bespoke commissions. I am not some lowly shop owner who keeps trinkets on her shelf. People come to me when they really want something. And
That is why we are here.
case in point. So, do not expect me to have magic as powerful as this just sitting on my shelf. No. No. I
Well?
could do this for you. We are friends, so perhaps a discount is in order. But, once again, you will fetch the items that I need. Because, compared to the previous one, these are quite a bit more expensive that I am not willing to part with, even if I had them. Of which most of them I do not.
Okay, well, out with it. What do we need?
Patience, girl. This is what your problem is. Always too fast. Always want to learn too quickly. Now, a scroll of true seeing. And you see her sort of like, almost like how someone's doing like mental math in their head, kind of looking up and away and sort of like calculating in their mind. You're not going to like this. There are options. You'll need at least 4. First off, iridescent dragon scale. And I am not saying a wormling. A true dragon. second of which the essence of a celestial being for me to create ink from it. Starfall prism. Good luck with that one. Starlit ink. Astral diamond. Naiad tears. Oh, the eye of a beholder.
My God, that sounds rather
Is that
impossible.
an or? Naiad tears or the eye of a beholder?
She listed a bunch, and you need at least 4 of them.
Alright.
Just giving you
What the
options.
heck? Yeah, thanks.
And she like looks at you as Azra kind of scoffs at this, and Emmy kind of was like, "What?" At this, she's like, "Do not question me. You have no idea how intricate a spell of this power and the materials it requires. You don't even
Well,
believe you understand."
I'm not scoffing at the absurdity. That's just the things you've listed. It would take an army to collect those Accoutrements. Very powerful adventurers.
Well, I think that says more about the character that Taj is keeping than anything. If you're not up to the task, then fine. Nothing from me until you bring it from me, so.
Ezra gets a little
Believe-
flustered and he kind of just fluffs up.
I believe we are up to the task to bring you these ingredients. Before we go, is there any news of the Isle? Anything that we should know, not know? People we should see, not see? We want to go out on the town and celebrate. We are crew.
She is sort of listening to you, but her eyes are sort of locked on Azric. And you can see, like, from this distance, as you're speaking to her, she has vertical pupils, not round. And as you kind of like, you know, puff up your muscles and stuff, she sends you a message in your mind. And she says, "Posture at me again, and I will turn you into a frog that I will keep as my pet until I grow bored of you."
Says this to Azric.
We cast message and said that to him, so only he can hear it. And you can see her lips moving. You all are talking. You see her lips moving as this sort of casting this message. So, and Taj, you know this spell. You know what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy for you to decipher this.
I just kind of glance over at Azric, like, what did you do, bud? Like, this is on you.
I'll reply.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't be so testy, my serpentine friend. I mean no offense.
And she sort of stares at you for a few seconds after your response, and then her eyes drift back to Taj. Well, first you come here asking for spell scrolls, and now you come for gossip and things you need to know. Why don't you stay a while? Let's catch up. You're always in such a hurry.
We are here for 3 days. Why don't you come out with us?
You and I both know that I very much dislike the rabble.
Well, do you have celebration items here? Maybe we celebrate here and stay with you.
I do not want to hinder on your celebration. I'm just asking for a little time for your old friend.
Is there any items in her shop that look like really useless, like a fork or something?
Yeah, I mean, there are plants. There's like crystals You know, aside from hanging on the
Oh, no,
ceiling,
I mean
there's some.
more useless than that. Like, yeah, like a doorstop or something.
I mean, sure, yeah, whatever
Yeah,
you
I just
think
want to
that.
like pick up like it's like a bookend. Like there's some books, there's like a bookend.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's just like, oh, could I trade you for this? I've never seen one of these before. What does it do?
What are you willing to trade for that?
Oh, and Emmy dumps out like her little bag of treasures. It's just random junk she got from sunken ships.
What are you doing? You're making a mess all over my place of business and
Oh,
my
I'm
place
sorry.
of-
I'm sorry. If you see anything you want, I would very much like to trade. I have a ceramic figure of this animal. It's an elephant. I have this tiny wooden box. I don't know what it's for. I have this thing. It's a quill pen. A crystal knob from a door, and a chess piece made of glass. A gold coin minted in an unknown land. And a silver fork.
You may humor her if you wish. She is our trash panda. She just collects trash.
Well, it's treasure to me.
Emmy,
I find
that
it.
thing has no value. Why do you want it?
I've just never seen one, and I just thought it looked interesting.
And
It's very
she
heavy.
reaches down and plucks the coin from your items, in which I will say this
The
is
only one
gold-
worth anything.
This is the gold coin that's from where you're from. So unknown to everyone else,
Me?
but not to you.
Oh, so to me, it's not. We don't use coins though.
It could be shaped in a coin.
Maybe it was like
whatever.
jewelry or something. Yeah. It looks like a
Pendants.
coin. Okay.
I
Oh,
will take
wonderful!
this.
Thank you so much.
Where did you get this?
This? Oh, it's just a medallion from home.
Interesting. Well, please, everyone, a seat, come follow me. And she leads you to sort of like a little side room that has like almost a lounge like atmosphere. If you'll give me a moment, I will whip up some refreshments.
Oh,
Well, I
yes,
Appreciate the
please.
hospitality.
I'm famished. Totally understand the hermit life. I'm a bit of a hermit myself. This has all been quite an adventure for me. Oh, and
It's
she like
not-
flops herself down on a lounge and just kind of like,
It is not that I dislike people. It's just that there are so few people worth my company.
no, that is true.
And you see her sort of like waving her hands, and then she speaks an incantation while she's like sitting down. And she said, "Let me get some refreshments for you," but she hasn't moved. She's like lounging like a chase in this room that's just sort of covered with, you know, more of the crystals from the ceiling, and, you know, two of the walls are completely engulfed by fauna. And a short time later, a few minutes, you see what looks like just a tray just floating on its own into the room, and is set down onto the table. And you see the sort of the tea, the sort of like a teacup here with the spout, and the tea sort of being poured into each individual cup, like very carefully and put down. And then you'll see a teacup in front of every one of you. And then a couple other minutes go by, and then sort of a another tray comes in on its own and then is set down. And you can see small, like, looks like little cakes just laid out on this tray for everyone. If anyone's curious what's
Oh,
happening, you can make an
wow.
Arcana check.
I just take a bite, like of one.
Yeah.
Like
Hold on.
I'm not like astonished. Like this is normal.
Gosh. One moment.
Mm, I'm
I'll do
hungry.
an Arcana check for sure because I'm always curious.
I think Hayden's just kicking it up in whatever's the most loungiest lounge chair there is.
Oh yeah,
16.
16.
And in the
Anyone
meantime,
else?
Kuda's just like, oh, Hayden, do you mind topping Granny up a little, if you know what I mean, dear?
Quite.
With a little teacup.
I'll let me see if I have. I'm sure I have something in a flask.
Yeah, she knows you've always got your flask on ya.
Yeah, no. Or a little on the top.
Cheers, love. And she like clinks his little cup.
Cheers.
So you see her cast another spell over sort of the cakes. And Cooter, with your roll of the 16, the latest one, definitely prestidigitation. She's making these cakes taste better than what they are. And then as well, previously she had cast Unseen Servant to sort of do all of this while she lounged about.
Oh, fantastic. I would too, to amplify my cooking. And she just like sips, just enjoying the hell out of it. She's like, this is, if everyone could be able to have this power, life would just be grand. Because enjoying the finer things in life that Kuda doesn't get to do often, she's just like, this is marvelous, taking it all in, having a sippy sip, having a little nommy nom. Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, if I have the power to do it, why not use it? Make my life easier. I have more important things to do than make tea and snacks for you all.
Oh, yes, indeed, especially in your own house. You should feel more than free to do so, in my mind.
No. You wanted gossip. I would ask of some gossip from you all first. What is going on? What have you seen? What have you been? What interesting stories do you have to tell me?
Oh, my. What isn't there?
Well, we are on the run. We are kicked out of what is that place, Azric, that we stumbled upon and
Rossadon.
Rossadon.
Reckless? But go on.
We went to a new isle and we helped a idiot on a quest. Basically a small loan of $1 million type of thing, and you know.
Which island was this?
Linares.
And you were doing work in Linares.
Well, we needed a friend. Aiden had a friend that could help us unlock the first bit of that journal. They broke a spell to make us be able to open it in the first place.
Interesting.
We were
And
far
why
from
did you
here.
not come to me first?
We were too far. It was literally the next island over from the first place.
How many people know about the Rata besides everyone here? You have
Literally only everybody here. I've not told a single soul, and it has been on my side the entire time.
well, and of course, Caden's friend as well.
That is it. Not a single person.
Interesting.
She has
To
no
be
idea what it is.
Yes, to be fair, nothing was revealed at that point in time.
What makes you think she does not know what this item could be?
Because she is a lowly blacksmith. She does not know.
A blacksmith on Linares. Being a member of the Church of the Lightsmith. Much more prestigious than you claim, but
She seemed really nice though.
well, I'm sure that many of the clergy and the city-states seem nice until they decide hunting people like me and Dodge.
Can I check how well Kuda's handling her spiked tea?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you want to make a Constitution save, and we'll see how
You gonna vomit
top-
again?
you see how much you
she's-
topped up this
She's
tea.
doing quite well. She's chilling. I was just low-key gonna see how talkative she was gonna get with this new person about stuff, but she's just happy enjoying her tea and her cakes.
Mhm. What
It was a
your
24.
24.
She's doing
Yeah,
even
she's
better
fine.
than usual.
Mhm.
Oh, I've never felt so relaxed. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
I mean, it's the least I could do for an old friend and her compatriots.
I second Kuda. Name's Hayden, by the way. I had not really had a chance to say anything since we've been here, but
The one
Thank
with
you for
the
being-
priest friend.
that's correct, yes. Is that a problem?
I'm so enamored.
Only a problem if you make it a problem, Hayden.
I have no problem.
There's something. Is this? Are you fixated on Hayden? You just can't get your eyes off him.
Well, I mean, for someone of my arcane persuasion, someone having friends in any of the clergy in the city-states, I'm going to take a bit of a pause. As well, they're the ones that drove us out. Unless we, of course, registered and did their silly, jumping through hoops. So,
Oh, absolutely not.
I see. I fully understand why you might take pause, and I can only say that it's hard not to at least bump shoulders with people on the islands, especially for someone like me who does not never been a pirate before. So my circles when I was younger were very different.
very interesting. Where did you grow up, Hayden?
Oshan.
It's,
I was the son of a merchantman, and a relatively relaxed, easy life. Lucky, I would say.
I've lived there most of my life too. It's interesting we haven't crossed paths before, Hayden.
Right. Well, Osham is fairly big.
Although, as I mentioned, I do mostly live in the wilds by myself, so
I was
try
more.
to keep a small circle.
I was more in the city proper. So
I
But
did
has
cruise
he-
through there time and time again, but not very often.
the thought occurred to me that we know very little actually about the places of origins of each one of us here. Emmy comes from some place that I'm not quite sure of. Taj, how far back do you and Taj go? Do you know each other from childhood or?
Well, I'm not going to necessarily divulge any of my friend's past unless she would like me to, so it's not my
I don't-
story to tell.
I don't mean to pry in that way. Just it seemed you were well acquainted enough.
Well, of course we are.
assumed-
We are friends. We've been friends for a long
friends.
time.
This is home. This is where Azric and I go in between jobs. Like this is home.
I see. Well, that's perfectly fine. That's all I was asking. I'm just trying to get to know everyone as much as possible.
Well, if you're asking, then I grew up on Ilanula, spent some time there, and realized that it's a bit of a gift of learning the Arcane, and, well, before I became a problem, I decided to align myself with people that appreciate my sort of knowledge and skills. I mean, to be practically honest, if you are a wizard here, you're practically royalty in a lot of ways. As long as you're powerful and can take care of yourself and not reckless. And sort of eyes Taj.
I like shrug, like I am what I am.
That would be why she's our esteemed wizard aboard our small little ship.
So you are sailing again.
That is why we are here to celebrate, because we are now a crew.
And, well, which crew did you join? Was it, I don't know, the Shadow's Embrace, maybe? Perhaps it was a Stonebreaker. I don't know if they were looking for any deck wizards, though.
No, it is our own.
No. And you are not captain?
And I like elbow Azric.
Actually, I am captain of this crew.
I
Of
see.
the unfortunate.
A lot of weight on those scrawny shoulders.
Well, looks are deceiving.
Actually, it should be noted that bit of business we had in Linares, while it did come from certain friends, if they found out what we did with their ship, I dare say would not be friends anymore.
You mean to tell me that their ship? So you have a ship that belongs to Linares?
That is why we are
Oh.
here for 3 days. To get the pinch
I-
up, if you will.
I would say no longer theirs, but now ours.
No. I see.
Which is probably why we haven't been back in so long, is because we were shipless.
Goes without saying, but they deserve it.
Azric does have a habit of ruffling feathers, as it were.
No, you don't say.
Oh well, I have
I
a certain
mean,
charm.
Captain.
But he is so
Maybe.
charming. And I like grab him by his chin and like shake his face a little bit.
Oh, Taj, not in front of the crew.
We are all friends here. So, you want to know gossip? Well, I heard that in a few weeks' time, a month or so, I don't know the exact date, that there's going to be a call for a vote for the Captain's Congress. I think that there are those in crews that would like a change, or some fresh blood on the council. So I'm sure the cove will be in an uproar of people vying for political position and things for quite a while when that's announced.
Oh, I believe Marius Blackthorn was attempting to get onto council, but sadly, will be unable to.
Well, he would have succeeded if he had a crew, of which he does not anymore. It's a shame. I mean, he was a good captain, one of the better ones.
Oh, well, I would disagree.
Why do you say that?
Oh, because he used to be my captain. don't really appreciate how he ran his ship, or what his goals were.
What were his goals?
Well, besides the ambition of becoming on the council, I would say self-serving.
If you are to fault everyone that is self-serving on this island, then you fault everyone.
Well, that's true, but I am a different captain. I look after my crew.
Aren't you the benevolent one?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We are here, after all.
This is true. All I'm saying is that he was quite a capable captain. And as far as the spoils that he brought in, well, he was one of the finer ones. As far as the inter-crew relations and politics, I don't know this. I'm sure you and Taj do. I don't know. But nothing to worry about. He is a shell of what he was once before.
He's alive?
Of course, he's alive. He's badly burnt. Every once in a while, he comes to the island to try and rustle up a new crew, which is quite hard to do if you don't have a ship. So, who knows? He comes in and out. He once barged into here before. The way did not go very well for him, wanting answers to questions that were just ridiculous.
He's a ridiculous man, so it is, it does check out.
Indeed. It's as far as what I know is the comings and goings on the island of note anyway. I heard about, well, another ship going to the Whispering Isle that didn't make it back. So, I'm glad that you all did.
I know that there was a crew that was going to go there, but we had taken the treasure map before they did. But they must have still known where it was.
Well, I guess the silver lining of this is that if they're not alive anymore, they can't blame you for stealing from them. Especially while they are docked on Black Ren Cove, because of course, you know, you wouldn't dare commit any sort of theft while on the isle since it is forbidden. That would be reckless.
I like shrug, like, I am what I am.
One of these days you're going to get yourself into some trouble, and I'm not going to be able to help you.
I know.
Might
It's
be a
hard.
bit late for that. But
You just make it so easy.
Well, you have to admit, that is part of Taj's charm. That's why we all love her so much.
Well, it's good to see you, Taj. Glad to have met your acquaintance, everyone else. If you bring me these items for the 2 scrolls that you require, then I will waive any associating fee for the items. For you, Taj, we make this clear. Not for anyone else.
I will not tell anybody about your graciousness. But if they ask where I got it, I will tell them to come to you.
Well, if they don't know where you got it, then they have a problem. As there's no one else who can do this on the island, so...
It is true.
Well... Is there anything else that you need from me, or anything else you would like to know? Otherwise, I do have work to do.
Not me directly, but does anybody else want information or need anything?
Are
If you
you
hear,
familiar?
oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask if you are familiar with the Nothix, because you seem to know a lot about that island. And, have you heard of a chap called Zindal?
No one that I know by that name. But as far as the Whispering Isle, all I know is you don't go there because it's a certain death. The death sentence.
Well, this chap was very much not dead, at least when we first arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, poor chap. He
Oh,
was so
oh.
tormented.
Cooter, what was the other name in the that we saw in that book?
Oh, charges.
I know this
Oh.
with my brain.
It is Messiah. Messiah? Hmm? Does this name ring a bell to you?
Kuta spits out that name like she knew because she does know things from 30 Days Past.
Yes. Yes, you do. Let's see.
We all say Messiah in unison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a haunting like chorus Messiah. She sort of like thinks for a moment. No, it does not ring a bell to me. It is an old name, I know that, but
Hmm?
I do not know anyone by that name.
You know where we might go to find information about old names and
Yes, ancient history, civilizations, perhaps.
Well, probably your best source would have been Grand Library of Rosaton, but it seems like you are unable to go there easily.
that's not necessarily true. And then Taj points and puts a mustache on her face.
She laughs. You look positively ridiculous.
But you love it.
Well, we are friends.
Well,
Are there libraries here, Blacker & Co.? I know it's a silly question.
Library? Where?
No.
And not be very well
that's-
stocked.
No libraries here. You should know better.
Oh.
Well then, thank you very much for your time and hospitality. It's very kind of you.
There are other libraries. Of course. There's not only one library in the entirement of the continent. Now, if you were looking for something, I would say one step below prestige-wise in Rosaton, there is always the Zenith Archive. Now, the Zenith Archive is going to be on Escos, and you would have to have some sort of sway with the Church of the Lotus King, but this is probably your next best bet.
Azric actively winces when he hears the name.
do I notice that?
Up to y'all.
Not hiding it.
Oh, you're not.
I mean, Escos is one of the places that we must go to get our knock.
I very much want to go to Escos myself. Lots of research I'd like to do there.
Then
Awesome.
Escos it is.
What's the matter, Azric? You don't like Escos?
Oh, not particularly. Well, I used to call home before the sea became my home.
That is your next best bet.
Well, then I guess that's where we have to go. Then I guess that's it. We'll have a homecoming.
I hope you have some friends there still. They don't just let anyone into the Zenith Archive.
I'm sure I can pull some strings.
Well, good luck to you all. Bring me back those ingredients, and I'll make your spell scrolls.
Thank you. And I give like kiss.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And she stands and she sort of shoos away like the food and drink, and then the trays just kind of get up and like walk out of the room. It's like someone's carrying them, but there's nothing there. Well, if you need anything else, feel free to come by. Or, just to chat with an old friend. You don't always have to come needing something.
This is true. I'm sorry. I will come before we head out.
Then it will. Oh, and she sort of palms the Cryptex Arcanum and hands it back to you. Because it was on, the shelf where you all were doing stuff. Be careful with this. Are you sure you don't want to leave it with me?
I see
Find a
what you're
nice
trying to
home for
do.
it. All right.
I thought that your shop is not a shop of mere trinkets.
This is no mere trinket, and it would be for my personal collection.
Maybe next time, if we find out what it does, we'll see.
Very well. I can always be of some help if you are interested in trying to decipher its mysteries.
You will surely come back. I mean, after all, you are less reckless than I am.
It's one of my better qualities.
And I boop her on the nose, give a hug, and leave.
Yep. And you can see the trays kind of putting things away. And she just sort of leans against the counter and just watches you all leave.
And for the record, I take the book and the ball and everything all myself.
Yeah. I assume you're not going to leave anything there, so.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good spot to go ahead and take our break for tonight. And as Moves has said in the chat, thank you all so much for all the follows. Thank you all so much for the raid. We very much appreciate it. Please go give them a follow. We are a fully immersive D&D serious stream, but we do see all of the support, and thank you so much. We very much appreciate it. And we hope you like the content. Or we hope you're liking the content. See, when I go out of DM mode, I just can't talk anymore. But with that being said, go ahead and take a few minutes and go grab some snacks, go stretch your appendages, and we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. So see you in just a few. And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you have gotten some snacks, stretched your appendages, and we're back to the episode where you all had just left Zara's humble abode. What is on the docket for the rest of the day?
What time is it?
Whatever time you want it to be. Early
I'd like to
afternoon.
go see Rover before we do our party thing.
Sure.
If anybody else has anything, I don't know.
No, nothing here.
I think as we leave, because you said it was about an hour from where we're docked to where the place was at.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, as our group gets closer to like port, Hayden will want to break off and go to Rover's.
Sure. Yeah, you
You going by yourself?
I did initially.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So I think Hayden's just gonna be like, I'm gonna go walk on my own and explore a bit, if that's all right with the group.
Well, watch your back. Stay out of trouble.
To the
Don't worry, mate.
mermaid's tail, or wherever you said that it was.
the drunken mermaid, you mean?
Yeah.
So you started the party early, I see.
Well, if there's nothing left for us to do until we wait for our ship to be befitted, we've got a long journey ahead of us. Might as well make the most of the R and R and R and R, if you know what I mean.
Yes, but don't spend too much money. We do have to keep the ship stocked and supplied for our long journey.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, Hayden, we'll catch you at the Drunken Mermaid.
Yeah, I'll catch you up later.
All right, see you later tonight.
So while you split the party, Hayden ventures on his own on a pirate island to Rover's Rummage, the local general store on Black Rend Cove. And you make your way in, and it's just like you remember it being, just kind of like just shit everywhere. Knickknacks, just shelves, like not really even organized that well. It's just like if it fits, it sits. That's where it goes. It'd be impossible to find something specific unless you knew where you put it.
He'll just kind of clear his throat, and be like, Rover, mate. It's Hayden.
And you see him kind of pop up from behind the counter. Oh yes, good to see you. Is there anything else you want to pick up while you're here? More rope, perhaps?
No, I think I'm all right on rope. How are you today, sir?
Well, I'm about as good as I think I could be.
Right. I don't know if you recall, I came in yesterday.
Oh, I do recall. I don't forget a thing.
Right.
Nothing gets past me. Like a steel
our-
trap.
That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. We had a bit of a contract with my purchase that you would look up some information.
All
for me.
right, straight to business. I understand.
Unless you want to chit chat, but I'm in no hurry.
No, you ruined it. I don't want to chit chat anymore at all.
Fine. Okay.
I see it's all business with you.
You hit the nail on the head.
Well, what do you expect? So, you want to know about the high winds? Well, I did a little bit of digging, a little bit of inquiry from some people that I trust, and well, apparently there was some hoity-toity merchant family in Osham Maran quite a while ago, and used to Well, 2 merchant runs here or there. Thought it peculiar because I couldn't find anyone that had been around here for a long time. That just no one ever tried to pirate any of their ships. Not sure why. Maybe they were too guarded. Maybe they were very well guarded or had escorts. I don't know. Very peculiar is that they just apparently vanished. All of a sudden, rich, powerful merchant company in Osham Maran, which let me tell you, if you're a rich and powerful merchant family, that's where you want to be, because that's who pretty much runs things there. And then, poof, gone.
That is quite unusual, as you say. If they were as
Maybe-
rich and powerful as that, they never been pirated.
Not as far as I learned from anyone here. Now, I can't talk to literally every pirate on the island. I'm sure you don't want me to be asking these questions to just everyone, but
No, I would never expect that of you. Yeah. It's fascinating. And I had heard stories that they had vanished. Part of the reason why I was interested, a family that well connected just seemingly gone one day to the next. Well, it's more information than I had yesterday, and it's fascinating. And that was the gist of it. You said.
from what I could find out in a day or so, I mean, if you really want me to dig in, I can, but I mean, it's not cheap and will take longer. I mean, because if I have to go to that level, I have to close the store. I have to go out and do
Right.
the legwork.
I would be taking away from your business. I fully understand.
Well, if I was properly compensated, I would consider it. I mean, I am Rover, and I rummage, not only through junk, but also through people.
Fair enough. Well, my crew and I, we are making ourselves at home here on Blackrand at the time, and how much are we talking?
I mean, that depends on how long you want me to dig. It's more of a per day sort of thing than a set price.
Let's just table this for now, and I'm sure I'll be in from time to time when I need more rope or things. Yeah.
I mean, it's
I do
your
very much-
gold.
I do very much appreciate the service already rendered.
Let me tell you something. If I find out you're shopping rates from other people, then you can just say no to my business ever again. I won't have that happen anymore. No.
Yours has been the first and only shop I've been to since I've been here.
Perfect.
Well, I don't want to keep you from whatever it is you're doing, so
Rummaging.
rummaging. It's a lot of work for one man. You don't have any staff.
Who needs them?
Right, more profit for you.
Less shares. That's the best thing about retirement. I have all the shares.
That's fine thinking. Well, this was brief, but yeah, I think that'll be good enough for now. As I said, I'll return if I need any other goods. Enjoy rummaging, I suppose.
You'll all be back. They're always back to want to know more.
Oh, good day, sir.
Between you and me, I do my best work when I have a longer time to work. Just saying. But I'll see you again.
All right.
And he just like basically just like pops back under the counter, and you can hear him like digging through stuff.
He's awesome.
Old Rover, the gnome. Alrighty. So Hayden, you have gone on your little walkabout in the town, and then the rest of you all are over at the Drunken Mermaid, getting an early start, I do believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're celebrating.
All right. So
Oh, yes.
so you walk in, and despite it being like early in the afternoon, there's still plenty of clientele because you're on a pirate island. For God's sakes, right? The place doesn't really slow down too much. It's sort of bustling when you walk in, and you can see that Silas is there behind the counter slinging drinks himself.
We'll grab a table if it's available.
Yeah. And he sees you walk in and says, I'll be with you all in just 1 second, all right?
All right, thank you, Silas. But a round for my crew when you get a chance.
Round of what?
Rum, except 1 glass of wine.
Yes, please.
Wine.
One wine, please.
You mean to tell me you don't have any wine, Silas?
I've got wine, okay? It's not a very very popular request, but I got it. Be back in just a jiffy. And you see him kind of
Thank you.
as he was delivering some drinks to another table and kind of getting your order. He's sort of just like a little pep in his step, just hops over the bar, like directly over it, slides over it, and then kind of starts getting some ale. And you see him sort of like disappear under the counter, and you hear like bottles move and like crates be like moved out. And then you see him grab a bottle and like the dust just flies off of it. And then he finds like, there's not really a wine glass. But I guess he finds like a sherry glass instead, and like pours that full of some sort of like dark liquid you assume is wine. And he comes back over to the table and delivers it to you all. He's like, all right, it's gonna be rum. Okay. How about we just call it 5 silver?
All right, you got it.
Thank you much. And he takes it and goes back to what he was doing.
Well, I'd like to cheers to the crew, but Hayden's not here yet. But I said we're gonna have multiple cheers to the crew.
To the coup.
To all of us. To powers and knowledge and life in general. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Ugh.
Does the spirit?
Well, this is rather nice. Oh, you look ravishing tonight, as always.
Thanks. And I like flip my hair and just let the like moonlight kiss my skin, you know? Always angled like just right.
How does the wine
Abby,
taste?
how's your wine, love?
It is
It's like a sweet.
Yeah, it's like a shittily made blackberry wine. But you don't know the difference. You never had wine before.
And he's kind of like, it's good. It's so much better than the rum. Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Your face doesn't seem like
It's
it
really
agrees.
sweet. We don't have a lot of sweet foods where I'm from. I'm not sure if I like it, but
Do you
But I
mind
like
if And Kuda like reaches a little, and she has
sure.
a taste.
Emmy, do you want to know a secret about drinking? The more you drink, the less
The
you care.
better it tastes.
Oh, that's interesting. Why is it magic? She's like looking at the liquid, like.
That one is a bit of an acquired taste, I must
I guess-
say.
Call it liquid magic, but then there's no magic
Liquid
about
magic. Okay.
it. This ability to change your perception in the world, and as well, it could very well change your personality.
Like how?
Oh, some people get very angry. Some people are more jovial. Some people just laugh at everything. And sometimes it makes you very. Yes, Kuda. See, Kuda is a laughing one. And sometimes it makes you very sleepy.
And sometimes it makes you like people more.
Does it make other
Sometimes it
people
makes
like
you hate
you more?
people more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if
And
they're
I like
drinking it,
flip my
sure.
hair again.
Okay, well, another wine, please.
All right, let's another wine, please.
All right, hold your horse.
Just bring the bottle, please.
Oh well, can do. And then about the time you all finish your first round, Hayden, you walk in after your
Yeah. You
We all
see
do a-
Hayden.
Oh!
Hayden!
You see Hayden stroll in, and he strolls in, and his face looks a little bit more pensive than you're used to seeing it. But as soon as you guys shout his name, he perks up a bit and heads over.
Oh, what's the matter, love? You're looking a little
Got a
deflated.
flagon of rum for you.
Yes, please. Everything's fine. Just a bit tired from walking about all morning. How many rounds in are we?
Just one.
One?
One, then I haven't missed one. Good.
Maybe 2 or 3. Do not know if you can still
Okay.
count.
Well, I got some catching up to do then.
Also
Cheers.
have a bottle of wine as well.
Well,
Yes.
that's not for me. I'll take some of that rum, though.
This is the life.
I don't
Drinking
remember
with
the
your
last
mates?
time we had a chance to sit down and just drink and make merry.
It has been a while. Probably since we met our traveler friend.
Grumpy, yes. Oh, I wonder what old Grumpy's up to. Sure, he's retired with his mountains of gold and living the farmer life as he always wanted.
Well, wherever he is, I say we drink to his health.
Yeah.
Gronky.
Gronky.
You all right, Kuda?
Oh, yes, dear, I'm doing great. Great.
I toss a silver to the tavern band, play something upbeat.
Yeah, sure. They'll kind of hop to it and play something a little more lively.
And Kuda just starts doing her little. Oh, yes.
Well, I think we have a lot of things in order. I think the ships get refitted. We have a mission. We're going going back home.
Is that where you want to
Right.
head first?
Well, there's the library we have to go to. There's the plant that blooms in the full moonlight,
Right.
and a bunch of other things.
Did she not mention a dragon?
Oh, yes, we have to get a dragon's
Ah,
iridescent
real-
scale
That's
from a
true.
real dragon. I
A
don't like
real
that one.
I
dragon.
don't think we have to necessarily get that one, right? She gave us
We
a list.
also have to get the essence of a celestial being. What would that mean? Like if they sweat or something?
I have to seduce a dragon to get a scale. I'll do it.
Okay.
I think the first
I've never
matter of
seen that
the
before.
I think our first matter is getting the right flower on the full moonlight. Is it in
When's the
Esper's?
next full moon?
I believe it is in 2 weeks. Wait a second. And I like deadpan look at Cooter. You forgot your birthday.
No, we didn't. My birthday's not for a while yet.
Are you sure? I thought it was
Who does-
yesterday.
Your
No.
birthday?
It's not for a few more moon cycles, as it were.
Mm,
But I
What-
do
Oh.
believe yours
month
is
is it?
coming up. Quint.
What?
do not
No.
hurt yourself.
Oh,
What month are we in?
Mine like a steel trap unless it's softened by booze, I see.
it is Quintus.
Quintus or
full-
Quartus?
Quintus.
Mm.
I know this because my brain works incredibly well for at least 30 days. After that, I'm not so sure, you know.
Are you looking at the ledger with one eye?
Yes.
Did not
The
know
full
from-
moon is precisely in 14 days' time.
Is this what you meant about people getting different personality when they drink the magic juice?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Emmy.
My birthday isn't until the 3rd of Nonna. Like me, I'm a little bit of a Nonna myself.
Do
You
you
have
have
children, Dakota?
children?
You have grandchildren?
Once upon a time, I thought I might. I don't know where they are now.
You
I
think
thought
you
they
have
were
children
young
or you do have
to find
children?
There were a couple of eggs way back when that I was hoping, but I don't know anymore. I found my way back to Linares because I found some, there were some things that I had found. And so I went there and I was looking to try to go back to where we had come from. It's been a long time since I lost everybody.
Do turtles, do you leave your eggs in the sand like the sea tortoises do? Like the littler versions? Is that a real question?
Sometimes that's why we get confused. A couple
So
of
you
us
left
get
your eggs
eaten
in
from
the
time
sand?
to time. It's quite horrific.
Sure, your family's fine. I mean, look at you. You survived how many decades?
Oh, I was very lucky. It's been centuries since then.
Getting hot in here. My.
Keep your shirt on, lad. Don't let us thrown out.
No,
And he's like face turns a little red and she drinks some more of the she like chugs some of the wine.
Azra kind of loosens up his vest. Oh, it's better. Oh,
Does Kuda know anything about real dragons?
Make a nature roll.
Okay, cool.
How's? How are you?
18.
It must have been nice to see your friend.
It was very nice to see her. I'm glad that she gave us some information. But, Azric, why did you not want her to know about the journal?
oh. You know, one thing at a time, love. We have to see if she's trustworthy.
I have known her for years.
First thing, and if everything's easy peasy lemon squeezy, then we go on to the ledger. But I guess it all worked out.
We are on a quest now.
Now, how long have you known her? You should absolutely. Should we have paid her to keep her silent? Is that
No,
like that's what we should have
he was
done?
one of my best friends. It has been at least 20 years.
I'm shocked you never mentioned her before. Of all of the years we spent together on the sea, I thought I was your best friend.
I said one
that
of my
too.
best friends. You are my pure and number one best friend.
And I reach over the table and it's like, boop.
Cooter,
And
you
then I
rolled an
boop him
18.
back.
Cooter, you rolled an 18 to know about dragons. What are you looking for about dragons?
Just like if I know stories of from whence they came, do they exist? How common are they?
Are you
General.
are you wanting like general? Are you trying to relate it to this iridescent dragon scale that you're trying to get?
Yeah.
Okay. Dragons absolutely exist. 100%. They are an absolute terror if you just happen to encounter one while at sea, because they will fuck your shit up and there's nowhere you can go. Depending on how old they are, you know that they grow bigger by age. Extremely intelligent for the most part. Depending on what sort of dragon would sort of indicate how their temperament towards people might be. With the chromatic dragons, like the solid colors, being more malevolent towards society. Metallic dragons, miss. They're generally metallic dragons aren't the kind that's gonna go like raise a city, right? They have their own agendas, they have their own things to do, but they're not outwardly hostile to people. And then you get into the gem dragons, which are somewhere in between on that scale of benevolent versus malevolent. And
Approach with caution.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And then you would know that since she called out specifically an iridescent dragon scale specifically, that's probably going to be from a gem dragon.
Do I generally know like which corner of the world they might exist?
That depends from dragon to dragon, because each individual kind of, whether it's like color or metal or like type of gem, they have their own specific like biome that they like to hang out in.
Okay, cool.
So if you if you're looking at like a specific area, like a biome, then you could tie it back to what gem dragon might live here, kind of thing. Would be easier. Or just pick a gem and then figure out where it lives. But
Why? I know where you can get one of the ingredients right now.
Wait, really?
What would that be?
You're looking at it! And then Azric stands up and his shirt's off. It's really hot. Behold! My body.
Are you a celestial being, sir?
Oh, I have divine blood. Touched by the gods.
Oh, indeed.
Really?
And then Kuda takes out her
Azric starts
needle
flexing
that
and,
never bends, and like, and comes towards him like, "Let's get a bit of that essence, shall we?"
Oh, Kuda, watch it. Don't damage the good. Have to seduce a dragon after all.
I wonder if the type of essence matters.
Taj, make an Arcana roll.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, you can't just go about saying you're. What? God touched? That's. Come on.
It's true.
Hold on, I can't tell if it's a 13 or an 18. I'm gonna go with 13. So hold on, 13, 14, 19.
So you would know, Azric's lineage. Y'all are besties, right? Being in ASMR does not mean he's a celestial. He's just drunk. Like celestial beings are like angels or like divas or like those like actual celestial beings or beings. He's like just showing out or something, but up to you whether you tell them or not.
I grab him by like, he's like standing up. I grab him by like his belt loop, you know, and just like throw him like, sit down, like, you know.
Gosh, daytime is later.
Listen, you are not what you think you are.
I was just going to ask if it's like that.
Don't let him fool you. He has had too much. I mean, how are you faring with the wine?
Inside.
I don't know. It's making me feel kind of shimmery.
And your voice
Oh,
is
that's
getting
the
more annoying.
best part.
It's the best. Really. I don't know. It's really. I also feel like it's really hot in here. I'm not gonna do that though. I just meant. Maybe I should drink more. I don't think it's working.
Ezra comes
And
over
Emmy's just like,
and puts his arm around Emmy, shirtless and sweaty. Yeah, absolutely. Another round! Silas!
Azric, on that list, it's up to you whether or not in this drunken state you would call it out, but you would know, at least in your mind, another one of these things that you could collect for the scroll of through seeing. Do you know what a starfall prism is? That is basically a prism made from like the core of like a fallen star, right? During some sort of major like event, like a major like celestial or like cataclysmic, event. And you've seen one, maybe. You remember that in Escos there is something that's called the Lotus Luminarium, and it's sort of a museum in Escos of ancient artifacts and weapons that were used in the name of the Lotus King to defeat evil, things like that. You thought that you saw one there, but that's probably one of the most well-guarded and safely protected buildings in that entire island. So,
okay, you may not get this essence, but I do know where we can find the Starfall Prism in the museum on my home island.
Museum. I
What
love
is-
museum.
Extremely difficult to steal anything in there, heavily guarded, of course. I remember seeing one when I was just a wee lad.
But it does seem like we go to Escos, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and 3 birds with 1 stone, really, if we get
Maybe-
more
Seven
information
maybe
about
birds
Messiah.
with a single stone.
Maybe even 4. Maybe there's I don't know. So maybe there's crystals there as well.
A
Right.
basilisk.
We could ask.
You did say
dragon.
something about some weird crystals, right?
Yeah.
they also need to get the echo crystals of the.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is
That's
this
the one.
working? Is this supposed to happen?
Yeah,
I don't feel like this is working.
it's a very, very common.
My head kind of hurts
Have
a lot
some
too.
water, love. You're probably a little dehydrated, especially since you're so used to being
It's
completely
dehydrated.
encased in water. It's when you know how when you're in the ocean, you're hydrated. It's not that.
Okay. I mean, it's just like slowly been shrinking into her seat, just like.
Cooter, be an Arcana check.
I'll tell you what I don't really want to do. I don't really want to fight a basilisk,
15.
to be honest.
Odds no.
We can go get a tree, right? There's some type of wood, right? Tree, flower. What?
Free? Am I right outside?
No, I don't think so. If it were that easy, she would say, go outside to my front yard.
Well, the trees are on Ontes, which is close to Esco, so either on the way there or on the way back, or whenever we feel like, we can swing on by to the Bunnings of the Wilds
Like a
and
loop,
pick us up some wood.
right? Esco's. Get our stuff at Esco's. Loop to Ontes. Get the tree. Come back.
Cooter. With Azric's mention of the Starfall Prism, you know what that is. And the only major celestial or cataclysmic event that you know of that could have produced something like this would have been the catastrophe, which means, yeah, you can go do a heist on a museum, which, you know, or another idea, which is probably equally as terrible, is going to the mouth, because that would be such a cataclysmic event that would cause something like that to occur. But as you know, part of the purview of the Divine Order of the Conservancy is to keep anything in and anyone out.
Oh, this is all quite overwhelming, but that museum you're talking about,
Yeah.
what else do they have there?
Oh, all sorts of things. Dreadfully boring. Books, probably. The arts. Artifacts.
Like that.
And how?
Artifacts?
Stuff. Loads. Oh my god.
been there?
loads
What
Oh.
was the exact
This is
timing
something
of the
like
times
catastrophe
doing,
again?
Sorry. Go what you were saying, Azric.
Oh, yeah, we had a few trips. You know, when I was part of the church in the building with the learning of knowledge. Yes, the Lotus Church school.
What did you learn about most of there?
The gods are full of shite. Fuck the gods.
Oh, I would be.
They never did
inclined
me
to
any
agree.
good.
They never did anyone on that part of the world any good, if you ask me.
I reckon
I don't think
most
they do
people on this
anyone
island
any
they've
good.
never done anything for either.
I don't need them. Look at me. Check me out now.
Yep, you are captain of a ship.
You
That's
could
right,
worship
Tosh.
who I worship if you want. It's much better.
I don't want to worship anyone. No.
Well, no, it's not a one. It's not anyone. Well,
Like the water.
Bucket?
Oh.
Kuda gives that
and he's like
bucket.
hugging in the bucket. Yeah, we worship the ocean.
Oh, you must always give praise to the ocean. I mean, it's our livelihood.
That's what I thought you might like. Oh,
Maybe another round with the ocean? And I like call over the barkeep to like get
The
another round to cheers to the ocean.
Cooter,
Yes.
to answer your question, like centuries ago is when the catastrophe happened.
Before my time?
Yes, you didn't live through that event, but
Yes.
your ancestors definitely did.
Yes. That's what I thought. She's just talking to herself, literally at the table.
Hayden. My quartermaster, my mate, my guy, my fluff buddy.
I
I didn't respect you at first because I didn't trust you, but you are the one. You are the guy I respect. Yeah. If I'm all this, I haven't the slightest clue what I'm doing. And you're like my co-captain. You're my right hand, and without you, the ship would fall to pieces.
Your right hand and your left hand.
Taj is my left. What was she my right? I don't know.
Well,
What I'm saying is, I need you to help me with the crew when I can't say the things that I can't say.
To tell you the truth, from the moment we got tangled together on Rosadon, I was regretting every second, but this adventure so far has changed my mind. And I think as a captain, yeah, you'll get the hang of it sooner or later. I've sailed under some lesser men who did not hold the respect of a crew. I would say, for now, you have our crew's respect.
This is very kind of you, Aiden. No one's ever said nice things to me before. Nice, Taj.
To the captain.
Yeah. To the crew.
Who'll take us back to his homeland to find all the deepest, darkest secrets of my family. And she like passes out at the table.
Why don't you do it with water this time, Emmy?
Am I allowed to?
Yes.
I want to be a real pirate.
Then you have to drink more.
Okay.
Hayden,
We'll drink some more wine.
while Azric is talking about all these things that he knows where to get for this mission, with your sort of mercantile background, you know that the Gilded Atoll is sort of a place that is independent of the city-states, more of a secular area that, whereas as opposed to the divine sort of running things, money runs things there. You're not exactly sure why necessarily they're allowed to exist, or why Ontest didn't try to conquer them by now, but you know that that's a place where people need things that might be hard to find, might be in the gray area. That might be a place to start.
Okay.
But if any of these items are there, they are going to be ungodly expensive, because they know their worth there as they deal in things that are hard to get.
Oh, before I forget, my father, I mentioned I come from a merchant background. Well, my father was. And there is a place that exists that might have anything in the world. You've heard of the Gilded Atoll.
What's your father's name?
My father?
Yes.
Victor.
Oh, Victor.
But
Has he ever been in Oshamaran?
I mean, that was where our home was.
Oh, can I roll it to see if I know Victor? Because I know that Kuda usually hangs around
Make a
the
history check.
merchant.
The Gilded Atoll is, well, It's like-
23.
I don't know. It's not. It's independent, as far as I know, and it's sort of a place where goods from all around the realm find their way, and potentially meaning we could find something rare on the list, like maybe a dragon scale, so we don't have to fight a goddamn dragon.
Go on the black
Seduce.
market, smart.
But it's called the Gilded Atoll for a reason. Everything costs a fucking fortune.
No
So,
time to get
That's
to
a
work.
potential place that we could also look. It's just on our way as well to Escos.
Hmm.
I say it is what it's worth.
Don't know if we'll find anything, but if there's something rare, it might be there.
Well, we gotta start taking down more merchant ships. They're expensive.
For Hayden, so Cooter, you were just seeing if you knew someone named Victor.
Yeah, if I've just heard the name because I like Kuda does live in the wilds of Ashamaran, but she would go into the towns and kind of put her ear to the ground with the merchants and just kind of that's how she knows what was kind of happening in the world during that time.
Mm-hmm. Hayden, check your DMs. Cooter,
Secrets.
I mean, just Victor. That's a common enough name, right? Like these city-states, these cities are huge. So Victor, not so much. But then you realize, oh, well, you remember Hayden's name, right? Hayden Highwind, when you all introduced each other. Now Victor Highwind, that's a name that you would know. Very
Oh.
successful merchant on Osham Miran.
Ooh.
But he vanished. Nobody knows what happened to him. Went out on a trip. Took his wife with him. They never came back. Said that they found their ship. Was wrecked and was believed that it was pirates that had basically. I mean, the rumors are that Victor was probably didn't want to give up easily, and the pirates just sank the ship. That's kind of the running theory, but that's pretty much it.
Victor. You're Victor Highwind's boy. What? She like nearly drops her like cup, and she's just like, I've heard his name on the wind so many times, but I wasn't aware that he had a boy.
That's kind of. Yes, he has a son.
Well,
Um,
duh.
it's not a big thing. If you lived on Osham, the chances are you've heard the name.
Well, yes, more often than not until he was gone. Oh,
If you
I'm
think that
so
means I
sorry,
have
son.
money, I can assure you, I don't.
Oh no, I don't need any money. Love, I live in a hut with my
I-
things.
Didn't know we had merchant royalty, part of my crew, my liege. And I feel a little bow to Hayden.
Appreciate it, but it was more my father than me. I was I was not old enough to be a part of the business
Yeah.
myself.
His father was one of the most talked about merchantmen on the Shamaran. Let me tell you, every time I went to town to go and get my bits and bobs, and I would wander around the markets, and everyone would be saying Victor this and Highwind Tail that, and it's just endless. And then one day, poof, he was gone. And the Whispers were just wondering what had happened, but no one mentioned his children. And, well, at least that I had heard. If I had known, I would have reached out.
Oh, dreadful story. Ada, how are you lost your parents?
Parents
Yeah,
are
just,
both dead.
Well, that's the story anyway.
It seems we have more in common than we first thought.
It's dead too.
Do you not believe that your parents are dead? Maybe there is another underlining story here?
Perhaps another time. I don't want to sour our celebration.
Hmm?
Meanwhile,
I
Emmy's
think-
just like sobbing on the other end of the table quietly.
Don't
And
need
Kuda just
crying.
puts her little hands on Hayden's face and just says, "As long as you are okay."
I'm fine.
Okay, good
I do-
lad. And she like slaps him on the shoulder and she slaps his shoulder and like, good lad then, and passes him another drink.
You know what? I just remembered. We were supposed to go back to Linares for a trial. Whatever happened to that?
Oh
Trial.
dear.
Child
no.
of
Oh, well.
I do not remember.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't now. We're
Trial.
a long way away.
Yes, between the druids and
Oh,
flame
right.
people. Yes.
Fuck knows what happened there.
It doesn't matter.
It is not a problem.
God.
Alice, some bread, please.
Back, that whole place has just been leveled from like a war.
Yep. Silence comes back around. All right, hold on, y'all. Y'all doing all right? And here's some bread. Looks like y'all might need it to soak up some of that goodness.
Thank you.
If we can keep
Alice,
this one a pitcher of water on the table as well.
Easy enough.
You
No.
run one hell of establishment, Silas.
Well, I sure do hope so, because it's the only establishment worth going to. So,
Quick question, DM. As we're kind of rabble-rousing in our corner of the place, is there anybody eyeballing us?
quick answer, player. No. I mean, it's typical tavern fare. I mean, y'all aren't any more rowdy than a typical pirate crew who would come in after a job, to be honest. You would really have to go out of your way to try and get people to care about what you're doing.
It was more of like, since several of us are fresh faces to the island, was anybody taking interest in us?
Not necessarily. I mean, you see there are different tables, different cliques, people drinking together. You notice at least maybe one or two people you've seen before that are pretty high-ranking captains, part of the Captain's Congress, with their crew, sort of toasting to them after, a good run they had. But nothing really out of the ordinary here.
All right. Can't be too careful, you know. By the way, what does the rest of our crew do? We should probably let them have the run of the island for a couple days, yeah?
I can celebrate tomorrow. Tonight is for us.
I mean, they're out and about because
Oh,
your
are
ship's
they?
being
Okay.
repaired.
Okay.
this
Yeah,
point,
yeah, I
so
wanted to make
they're
sure that they
around.
got
Yeah.
wanted to make sure they got land leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they have to bring the ship in to get repaired. So
I hope Chowder doesn't get into too much trouble.
Well.
Well,
We got quite the road ahead of us, huh?
I believe we should call it a night.
Oh, whatever happened to those shipping lane things that you were talking about?
We still have that information. No, it could be A profitable voyage for us.
Not talk about that here.
Oh, yes. Oh, my apologies. I just thought since we had some time to spare, it might be worth looking into.
I want it to be said. Taj's friend's very pretty.
Aiden, do you have a crush? Would you like me to introduce you
I-
in a
I-
more
uh,
romantic way?
Well, I don't think she likes me very much. But,
No, does that
Definitely
actually
doesn't like
apply?
me.
Yeah, I don't think she likes either me or Azric. No, it's fine. I'm just commenting. There's a lot of. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Aiden, do you have a type?
Pretty?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Are you deeper than that, Hayden? What about love? What burns your heart into passion?
Hmm.
Gets you up in
Why?
the morning.
Yeah. I'm not nearly drunk enough for this right now. Another time, we'll discuss types. Another time, because if I'm sharing, everybody has to share.
Oh, big, bulky boy with a big, round little belly for me. Oh. She's just like staring into the distance with her squinty eyes, just like
No
pining.
vote tonight. Just give her inspiration. Just give it to her.
Cooter's type is dad bod.
He was going to be, but alas.
He was going to be a dad with a daughter.
Oh. Oh, Cooter, I'm so sorry. Cheers to the lost land.
Good.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We were gonna call it a night. We've been here for another hour already. I think. What time is it? I don't know.
I mean,
Sparky.
Larry.
yeah, what can I do for you? You need another round? More bread? Water for the little one?
Always
what time
more
is
room
it?
for bread.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it can be whatever time you want. It seems like y'all been day drinking all damn day, so
Can it be like 2:00 p.m.?
yeah,
Like it's only 2.
yeah, it's like early to mid afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here
The bar is like.
here in just a few hours, I'm gonna be doing dinner service. So, are y'all gonna need a room for tonight? Because, I mean, I can't let y'all drink and sail, you know.
Yes, rooms.
All right.
Do we take a nap and then we come back down for dinner?
Yeah. What's for dinner?
Well, I mean, what do you want? What interests you?
Oh fuck. What? You just see Hayden start to pass out.
I'll just bring you something. It's all right. I'll just bring
Hayden
you
just starts
something.
to doze off at the table.
1 silver piece per room. So you all can either grab your own rooms, share rooms, whatever y'all want to do.
Emmy's asleep, so you all can decide if you want to just leave her there or what you want to do.
Well, given the collective strength score of this table, I don't know if anybody can carry her.
Oh shit!
Truth.
It's like it takes all 4 of us to carry the smallest person on our team.
I mean, think about it, right? Drunk people are really heavy.
It's true.
That's
Speaking-
mine. Sorry.
Speaking of types, there's one person that comes to mind. We flirt a lot. Nothing ever happens. I don't know if she likes me.
Asvik, this is not the time.
Okay. Oh.
And I like link my arms with him and like take him to his room and just like make sure he's like good, but like,
Make sure he
I
like
go
makes
to my
it
room.
there. Yeah, like
For
make sure that-
love!
Asvik,
His
it's
wagon's
time for you to
empty.
take a nap.
All right. My. Got the cutest nose, Tosh.
And I like again like flip my hair and like let the sun like hit me perfectly.
Mhm. Yeah. Is everyone else gonna hang out in their room and sleep it off for a bit, or what's
Yeah,
what's the plan?
Well, we have to wait 2 more days, right?
So day of, they already started working on it the previous day because Emmy specifically asked if they could work around while you were having dinner on the ship. So
Okay.
this is day 2. Tomorrow is day 3. So it could be done at some point the next day.
Okay.
You have to check with Reginald.
Is there anything else? I mean, Hayden is not familiar with too much of the island, but is there anywhere Azric and Taj would like to go on the island or show us where things are? Or?
You said
That would
the voting is happening.
Oh yeah.
Zara gave you some info that maybe in a month's time or more that they might
month's
call
time.
for a vote for the Captain's Congress.
But the
Do we know
next full
who's,
moon
like-
is in 14 days.
Do we know who's on the ballot?
No, you know who the current captains are on the Captain's Congress. So
For those of us at home, can you elaborate what the Captain's Congress does?
yes, for all of you at home. So the Blackrend Cove is basically like its own little mini pirate island nation. And they sort of have a loose affiliation amongst all of the crews. And they elect what's called the Captain's Congress. And that's made up of, I believe, 6. Yeah, there are 6 captains on the Captain's Congress. One of which they nominate as the Speaker Corsair. So the person who speaks for the group. But basically, they're the one that makes any major decisions when it comes to this island as a whole. They also are the ones that will decide whether an aspiring crew can be welcomed into the fold. When you first got here, you got fast passed because of Captain Blackbeak being under her banner, and they didn't want to fuck with that. So you all are allowed to operate here by virtue of Captain Blackbeak. So they're kind of like, calling it a government is probably a step too far, but they're sort of the ruling council.
Well, we can always fast forward if we wanted to.
I do want to plot our course, how many days it will take, and my supplies, and then refill on stops on the way. Make
Yeah.
sure the ship is fully stocked in case of bad stuff happening.
Yeah, because I feel like even if we went the most direct route, it would take ages to get around the coast to where we want to go.
Well, let's take a look at the map.
Our navigator's indisposed right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So you are at Blackrend Cove. And as far as the amount of days it would sail, are you measuring, where are you measuring to? Where's your first stop?
Probably to Oshamaram to resupply, and then
you can resupply here. They're self-sufficient
Okay.
for that, unless you just want to go to Oshamaran. Yeah.
Oh,
'cause-
probably Escos, but what was the place that was like midway from where we are?
Contest.
on test
Well, is Ontes where the gold
the tree.
The Gilded
Ironwood
Atoll
splinters.
was the place that I mentioned where you can maybe find rare stuff.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
we'll need
So-
money to go there.
We'll need
Oh, we
lots
don't
of
have
gold.
money.
So
At least I don't have money.
So 8 days if you want to go to the Gilded Atoll. Probably 9 to 10 days for Ontes. If you were going to Escos, you're looking at like 11 days. And those are times going
Nice.
straight there.
We need to go to Escos first then because full moon is in 14 days, right? Like we don't have a whole lot of willy-nilly time. I mean, we could willy-nilly somewhere, but not everywhere.
But if we run out of time,
We have to wait a month.
yes. I'm just thinking if something happens that costs us days on the way there, then we could get into some deeper doodle this time. I think maybe we could go to Ontes to make sure that we're on target for if we miss this full moon, then the next one. But then you guys might miss your pirate conclave, whatever it is that you have.
So, to make it in time for the full moon on Escos, you could feasibly hit the Gilded Atoll if you wanted, and then maybe spend a day there, and then go
Yeah, I
straight
mean-
to Escos after that. But like Hayden said, money talks there. So
Hmm. Do we risk it for the biscuit, my friends, and pray that the wind is at our backs?
There might be some sort of sea monster in the ocean, so I say we go right to Escos.
You guys talking about this when I'm passed out?
could be whatever
yeah.
time y'all want.
Yeah.
It
We'll
could
let the
be,
captain know
like-
I
when he
assume
wakes
we've already
up.
taken our naps, and it,
Okay.
Yeah.
this might be dinner time.
Okay. We can go to this coast.
Escos it is! To
This is the-
Escos!
X marks the spot for us right now.
Alrighty. So, whenever you all decide to head out, it'll be an 11-day journey to Escos.
We don't have to like role play it, but I had told Zara that I would say bye to her before I left. So
Yeah.
like I like mosey over to her, like I could do like a kiss bye, like see you when I see you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make sure to tell her bye. Do you put in a good word for Hayden?
I do. But I don't tell Hayden that I did. So that way
Amazing.
like maybe something weird or awkward will happen next time they see each other.
I also say bye to Volrin and said I'll be back
Mhm.
probably in a month's time.
Perfect. Yeah. So you all can say your goodbyes. I'm going to assume that you are going to sleep it off for the rest of this evening. Putting you at the 5th of Quartus. And probably around midday that day, your ship will be ready to go. As you remember Reginald sort of having a little bit of urgency. He doesn't want
Yes.
to have to owe Captain Blackbeak anything. So with that, ship is ship shape once again. And I don't remember, describe what's your color scheme that you picked? What's your new ship look like as the Unfortunate?
Have we discussed this?
We didn't discuss this. Can we discuss this next time?
Absolutely. You let me know what you want it to look like.
It looks great though.
It looks
Yeah,
great.
it's amazing.
You've got a
It's
great
like-
pirate flag.
You had Exhibit come and you pimped that shit, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I forgot
the
that
opposite of
existed till you just
unfortunate.
said
Make
Yeah,
that.
sure it
can I
rides
ride?
low in the ocean.
Yeah, rides real low.
It has LEDs, no.
LEDs.
Has 10
You can't see
TVs.
them, but if you swim down there, they're there.
It has a button that you push and like fog comes out. Like
We just have to pick
Two
up these echoing
PS2s,
crystals
okay?
for the
And a
subs in the
retracting
back.
bar.
when you
Yeah.
hit the wheel, does it go?
Yeah, amazing.
no, it starts the do 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 do.
Alrighty, and I think with that seems like a good a place as any to end it for this evening. So I hope you all enjoyed the episode this evening. With that, we aren't going to be back here next Friday, but we will be Sunday the 24th at noon Pacific over at the MS or National MS Society's Twitch channel doing a charity stream over there. They're running it Friday all the way through Sunday. The link is going to be in the chat, whichever one that you are in. Please go check it out. Make sure to hop on our Discord, follow us on Twitter, because we're going to release what our donation incentives are very soon, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So you definitely don't want to miss it. It's for a great cause, so we would love to have you over there and kind of and help support them, help us support them as well. So with that, I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and
Wait.
Go for it.
I was going to say, for anyone new who's joining us, we also put out podcasts on Monday. They do Tomb of Knowledge. Max, take away and explain where people can find the podcast and stuff.
Yeah, so Mondays we have podcasts. You can watch that live over on Twitch or YouTube. And then if you want to catch it later, anywhere where podcasts are available, you can find it. If you've got Google, if you've got Apple, if you've got whatever podcast format, just look for Castles and Cantrips and you can find it over there. our
YouTube
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah,
YouTube.
go check that out. We talk about all sorts of fun things like how to build dungeons, like how to make character backstories, all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely you want to check it out. And then I will say, I believe, was it the 25th that I believe that the ladies are going to be doing Tome of Knowledge on that
Ladies'
day.
If I don't get booked again.
It's going to be a ladies' night. So definitely check that out. I think that was the right date. I hope so, because I said it.
It's the
Sounds
new
about
right
right.
date, but it's if I don't get booked again and then have to work, and then one of y'all are gonna have to pretend to
Wear a wig.
be on.
Max
the
could put on a
ladies' night.
wig.
Yeah, he doesn't even
Are
need
you
one. Look
kidding
at that
me? He
hair.
doesn't need a wig.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
don't
those
need a wig.
locks.
What are you
Lush-
talking
lu-
about?
luscious
Glorious
stew.
hair. Look at that thing.
Such is
Oh, look
the
at
freelance slash actor life, where you don't know when you're free until you know when you're not
Hi,
free.
Nina. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh
kidding, Nina.
no, Cleo!
All
We
right.
love you, Nina.
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let's go find a nice D&D channel to leave you all with on a
Hey, did we do
raid.
inspiration?
Uh,
Yeah, just give it to.
Nina.
Can we just say we're doing it to her?
Yeah. Nina
all
wins.
right. They said give it to
Wins
Nina,
it
so
for
give it
lost
to Nina.
love.
Yeah, give it to Nina, and we will see you all next time. Go for the raid over to Magi RPG and say hello and tell them we sent you. So have a fantastic evening, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.